Welcome back to the development series with Arch Network. In this video, we will focus on standing up our local validator. So for this, Docker is needed. And if you don't have Docker already, install that and then come back. But the reason we need this is because in the next steps, we'll want to deploy our program. Now that we have created our project here, my app, and we've looked into the source code within librs, we'll want to deploy this. In order to deploy it, we'll have to connect to a network. And we don't want to connect to the testnet. It will be slower. We'll have to obtain funds. So we instead want to do most of our development locally first. We can iterate very rapidly. We can even reset the state of the network very quickly as well. So for this, we'll take advantage of something that the Arch CLI provides out of the box, which is the local validator. In this case, we'll use the validator subcommand, and we'll look into that. We'll get rid of this screen so it's easier to see. Okay, great. So now we have a couple options down here of what we can do. We can start and stop the validator. So this is possible. We have Docker running in the background. When we run Arch CLI validator start, this will spin up a local validator. It will look at our development config within our config tunnel and use those configurations for the validator. One of the configurations within here for development is the local URL, which in this case will connect to local net or local host. So our local validator running on the local net, localhost 9002 port. Okay, so our local validator started successfully. The container ID will change every time you start and stop the validator. So I don't recommend viewing the logs from the command line. No, that would be like Docker logs and then some sort of container ID. I don't recommend doing that. I recommend instead looking at Docker dashboard. And within there, you can find the container tab. And within there, you can click into the container and see the logs streaming in. So make sure that's all working correctly. For me, it's running. I checked in another window. But this is simulating a local Arch network execution environment. And we'll be able to deploy programs and interact with our program there very quickly. Great. We'll see you in the next video.